Well, I just got me a new bow. I picked it up at Etar. I've looked for this bow for about 2 years. It's a Bear Tamerlane, but it's 66 inches and it's 39 pounds at 28 inches. I've been looking for one, this specs for hunting for about 2 years, and I found one on eBay. I got outbidded, but and I'm grabbing this one. A buddy actually bought it at the blanket sale, and then I bought it off my buddy. So, thanks Clutch for the bow. It's everything I dreamed of. It's absolutely in mint condition. You can see here, it's a 1966. Absolutely gorgeous. And I got the bow. I just slapped on a string here, just for now. I'm having my buddy make me a string. It's the last thing I need. I need a string, and the silencer's coming tomorrow. And I'm gonna show you how I set up my whole bow for hunting. Some of my new hunting bow for the year. It's 39 pounds, but it feels more. I have a 29-inch draw length, so and it feels a little heavier. So I'm gonna guess it's like 42 pounds, which my opinion on a perfect spec bow is a 66-inch bow at 43 pounds. That's the ultimate. So this is damn near perfect, and has a nice long riser like I like. I mean, it's a target bow, and I'm hunting with it, so it's obviously gonna shoot good. And I shot a little bit, and it shoots good. It's a Bear. It's a Tamerlane. But yeah, I'm gonna get into this, and I'm gonna show you how I set up my bow for hunting, because this is gonna be my hunting bow for probably a good amount of time. Just an absolutely gorgeous bow. Well, obviously on a hunting bow you're gonna run a quiver, because you need access to fast arrows. And I have this Selway quiver. It's a strap-on one. And a little trick I do, because this riser here is probably 31 inches, I'm guessing. It's pretty long, which is how I like my bows. Longer riser, a little shorter limbs, you get the maximum. It's just how you want them. But anyway, so they come like this. This is how they come. They'll be like this. Don't mind how this looks right now. They come like this. This would be flipped upside down. But with that super long riser, my arrows I set up for this are 34.5 inches, almost 35 inches long, which is the longest arrow I've ever heard of. And they still don't fit. So what I had to do is I flipped this, and I use these both upside down on the bow. That way my arrows can fit in the quiver, which helps a lot. Another thing I'm going to be running here is I love it, a clicker. I know a lot of people are against clickers and they don't try and get away. There's all these new tactics on not using a clicker. But I don't know why you wouldn't use one. Unless you're shooting a competition, you'd be dumb not to use a clicker, in my opinion. It's the best anchor point. It's the most consistent shooting tool you can possibly use to increase accuracy. And to not use one, in my opinion, is dumb. So I'm going to show you how I rig up my clicker, because when they come out of the box, they sound like this. And I'll have it tuned up, and you probably won't even hear this. Probably can't even hear that. The mic probably didn't pick it up, but that's what you want. You don't even... I tune it up just so you can maybe hear a click. You mostly just feel a vibration in the string for hunting, because you don't want that animal hearing that. And also, since I'm going to be hunting with it, I try to hunt everything with my recurve here. I got tree bark limsations from One Stringer. And I'm going to show you how I put those on. It's real easy to apply, and you can peel them on and put them right back on. They're an awesome tool, and they really help camo up the bow real nice. Which, I don't like putting these type of stickers on the limbs, on these beautiful old pieces of art like this Tamerlane here, but I'm going to be hunting with it, and I have to have it. I'm a real freak on keeping my bow all tidy, and gotta have these on because I don't want to get picked off because of my light bow limbs. And then tomorrow I have limb savers coming. I bought 2 packs. They're the mini ones. I'm gonna put 2 in the top limb, 2 in the bottom limb. I'll show you how to put those on, and I'll explain to you how you can use those to even lower point ons and stuff like that. You can do actually a lot more with limb savers than you believe. And I'll show you the arrow setup I'm running here. It's a 39-pound Tamerlane, but I believe it's about 42 with my draw length and everything. And I got the X impacts. I just got them in today. 500 spine. I'm running 240 up front. They're shooting just a tad weak spine for me, bear shafting, which I'm okay with because these are by far the best arrows. If you're going to use a carbon arrow, I don't know why you wouldn't use a Next Impact. Because I mean, I'm running. This is it's going to come out to be about 450 grains total, maybe pushing 460 with the fletchings on, and that's the front of center. I mean, there's about 6 inches to the tip, and then you got 28 to the back. Absolutely insane, and it's only a 450 grain arrow. It's gonna be lightning fast. I'll be pushing that 170 mark, which is the magical mark in the traditional world. About 170. If you're shooting 170, you're gonna pass through anything in North America. But yeah, this is gonna be a killer setup. And I'm just gonna show you guys how I put it all together and make it work for hunting for myself. I want the tree bark camo for the limb stations. I think they're gonna look pretty sick when I get them on here. It don't take much. You just gotta take your time doing this part. You can re-peel them and re-stick them if you have to, which is really nice about these things. The best thing to do is just take your time. So that's all it is right there. Just take your time, and I like to floor down over. And then what I do after this is I take a razor blade and I just run it right along the edge, straight up and down, and it takes off all the excess you need. I like to take a string off this part just in case whenever you're cutting with the razor blade you don't nick that string. Yeah, that's about all there is to that right there. Take a nice sharp razor blade and just... This is the finished project, all dialed up here. See, there's just a little bit of white on the outside. I like how that's set up there. Gorgeous. I love the old tree bark camo. Anything mossy oak is just good stuff. But what I'll do is I'll take my shirt and I'll rub down this adhesive on the sides. That way I don't accidentally peel up at all. And I rub it till my finger gets too hot to touch, just from the friction, you know what I mean? And I think that heat really helps that adhesive stick to these bow limbs. One thing I forgot to say is make sure your bow limbs are nice and clean before you put these on. Because I mean, you can take them off and reapply them, but they don't stick like in the first time you put them on. You know, it's like anything, any sticker. But yeah, that looks sick. This bow's, I've barely shot it yet, and it's exceeded my expectations. I mean, it just has everything I want, especially with that grip, super skinny handle, and then the big, nice, fat, high grip. And it's the weight to it's insane. I don't know. It's in such nice condition, it almost looks redone. I'm not positive. And if I'm almost thinking they redid it with like a phenolic type rise, like phenolic finish, or put something in here when they, I don't know. It's heavy, which I freaking love as well. It's the perfect bow. But there you go for the limbs. Now we're gonna string her back up and apply that clicker. Alright, so here's your standard clickety-click clicker. Bought it at ETAR. You can get them on Three Rivers, Lancaster Archery, don't matter. But and it comes with a metal ball. That's how you adjust the length that you're supposed to adjust them with these things, and this bright yellow string. First step we're going to do here, cut the metal, get rid of that metal piece altogether. So this here is what you should be left with: your string and your clicker. Now what you want to do is you just tie a big knot in the back, slide it back underneath that clicker, and that way whenever you shoot, that you don't have that metal on metal. It's just loud. Just for a hunt, if you want to use a target setup, go ahead. I'd still recommend not even using the metal though. I don't trust it. Just a full-on string contact. Now what I do here to rig it up from a hunting setup, so you see on these clickers here, this flipper in here is what makes the sound. But the farther it goes back, the louder the click. And this thing's bent in motion. Take a hammer and pound this down almost flat. You're going to have to do it a couple times. You'll see it bends there. Just easy. Just go slow. You probably have to go back and forth a couple times to get that perfect click for what you like, where it's silent enough where it's comfortable for you hunting, but also loud enough where you can hear it and still feel it. That's how you're going to run it. So this is the brand new one. I'm going to use this adhesive, but I took one off my old bow that I'm about to sell. And I'm going to put it on this one because it's already set up mint. I don't even have to adjust it. It's just already perfect. But you'll see it from the first one. This is roughly how flat you got to change them. See the bend in this one compared to this one? Almost flat. Play around with it, see what you like. Just my little tip of advice for you guys. Clicker placement, I think it's a thing that's overlooked, not really ever talked about before. But you want it pretty high in your limb. So you see here it has the bear, this Tamerlane has the Tamerlane mark up on the top limb and the bear mark on the bottom limb. I bought these mini limb savers. I'm putting 2 right above it, right below and right above each logo on the top and bottom limb. And I'm going to run this clicker on my top limb. So my limb saver is going to be about there. So I'm going to put this thing right above it. That way it's on the upper half of the limb. That way it's not getting interfered with the actual limb whenever the bow's bent. The best way to do this is actually to string it up. I'll do that real quick. So you see if this thing's strung, that's about where the limbs and the string meet. You don't want to put that clicker where it can interfere. This limbs are definitely nothing like my border ones. But grab this clicker here. You just eye it up. I'm gonna put it higher than what I said actually. I'm gonna put it right about there. That way my string to my clicker is nice and short, because the more string you have laying down, like the lower you put that clicker, you put it down here by the base, by the riser, your string's going to be this long, and it's just a better chance of it getting caught up in something, tangling up, malfunctioning on you. That's a big reason why people don't like it for hunting. They get caught in limbs, stuff like that, which I don't blame them. So you want to run it up as high as you can without interfering with the limb and the string. So I'm going to place it right about there. You can see underneath the thumb. I'm going to peel the adhesive, just eye it up, throw it down in the middle as best I can, and that's where I'm going to run the clicker. Right about there, in the upper quarter of the limb. And these things stick, so you get one chance, and that's about all you get with these. So that's one thing you got to make your count. Make sure she's nice and tight, and make sure it's nice and dry when you put it on. I've done it before. I've put on clickers in the winter time and the limbs are cold, or also it happened to me in the summertime. You take it out from an AC house to the real humid, and the bow gets damp, and like it gets that moisture, like wet layer on it. Clicker flies off when you're trying to set it up. So just do it when it's nice and dry. Get it all set up. All right, so here. That's just set on. That's the click. A lot of people use different strings, different types of strings for the clicker. I like to just keep the yellow string, and I actually just spray paint it black. It just works best for me. A lot of people use paracord and stuff like that. But I haven't found a string that I like to use. Just the one it comes with. Paint it black, run with it. You got your black string here. And the clicker, on the back of the clicker part, I put a piece of tape, and it really quiets it down. Now I'm going to put it on and set it to my draw length. So there it is on the bow right there, and listen to the click. Deer will never hear that.
What What'd you put under it?
There's tape, and then I smash this down with a hammer. This is what it comes out of the package sounding like. And this is what I got too.
Yeah, I mean, they come out of the packs like that because they're target hunt shooters.
It's got the bow set up here, got the quiver on. I'm shooting my old arrows. They're flying decent for now. Just want to shoot the bow. Got it all set up there. But one last thing I forgot to put on it and tell you guys about. You see on the old killer border, this thing has been an animal of a bow. It has racked up some tallies in the short years I've been hunting with it. A sling, a wrist strap. Very highly recommend. I actually built one for these. If you guys want to learn how you build them out of paracord, it's real cheap, real easy. Comment down below and I'll make a video on it. But for now, I have one of these from like Dunham's or Walmart. My cousin bought it for me for Christmas one year, and it's sweet. That way, I don't even grip my bow at all. I go hold it like this so I don't grip it, and it's increased my shooting drastically, the accuracy. And this bow right now, with the quiver and the weight of the bow, I bet you it's 4 pounds. And I might add a 16-ounce stabilizer. If I can find something that looks good on this old bow, I will more than likely add it because I love me a good heavy bow. I shot Matt Zernzak's one time. He has that DAS ILF bow, and it was like, he said it was like, I don't know if it, I thought he said it was like 10 pounds. It was freaking awesome. So we're looking at right there. Tighten this up just a smidge. There she goes, all set up how I like her. And when tomorrow I get these the limb savers on, I'll put those on for you guys, show you how I do that. I'll give you a more good old rundown. But this is my hunting setup, and this is what I'll be using definitely for the next couple years to come right here. I got the mini limb savers here. I'm going to throw 2 on each limb. There they are. Usually I use the big ones, but I feel like the smaller ones are more sleek. Less chance of them grabbing on anything. They come in packs of 3, which on the way those come in packs of 4. But I'm going to throw 2 on each limb here. And these things make a world of difference. And the one thing a lot of people don't know, I wouldn't say so much of these smaller ones for throwing arrows around, but if you wanted to, if you aim to shoot, you can adjust your point on by putting more limb savers on top or bottom and placement. You just got to play around with it for see what it does to your arrow setup. But I do know you can lower and raise your point on with limb savers here. So I'm just going to ice up. Like I said, I'm just going to put one right below and right above the logos on the bow. Right about there. They're probably about 3 inches apart. And the bow's already pretty whisper quiet. My buddy's making me a new string. This one's black and red. I like it, but I don't really match the bow like I like. So I'm just going to have him make me a black and white one. And the white will probably turn gray pretty quick. Blend in good. But I might also use different silencers. I don't know if I like these Otter Fur silencers. They don't dampen as much as yarn, but you get this. You lose speed with the bigger yarn ones, but I don't think it's enough to make a difference. And the yarn ones are by far quieter. Usually, I think I use, they're called Navajo ball silencers. They're the smaller yarn ones, but they work really well.
There's one.
I'm assuming most of you watching the video have used these before. If you haven't, it's a little adhesive back. You peel it off and the sticker on, and you gotta be careful though, because once you stick it on, it ain't coming back off. Make sure the bow's nice and clean and dry when you put them on. That way they don't fall off.
There they are.
You can see them right there. Got the clicker. Silencers. You got the Selway quiver, which is also rubber, which also dampens the limb really nicely. Get on here, I got the two. Two at the bottom are perfect. The one's up top, it's in the middle, but it's just a touch cockeyed. Which I like everything to be perfect, but ain't much I can do about it now. I put the bottom limb tip saver on there, just because you never know what can happen. And also, one thing I did forget to tell everyone, I use these X-Impact arrows, and they're micro diameter, like 0.204. And they don't even fit in the bottom quiver, they rattle. You hear this one, took some Velcro, I ran them in these grooves here, and now whenever you throw them in the groove, it's tight. This one's not in a groove. Just to reduce any noise. Also, I threw on the old strap, which I like it a lot. But the last thing I have to do now is just get the arrows finally tuned up. I said the 500s were shooting a tad weak, and then I shot the 400s I already had done, shooting out of my border, and they're flying about the exact same as the 500, so I'm confused. The tuning has been not simple with the bow. The bow shoot's amazing. Probably the best feeling bow I've ever shot. For some reason, my idea of what I thought was going to be the perfect tune is not being it. So I've just been playing around with it. I'm getting there. So once I get it all tuned up, this next clip will probably be me shooting. It's raining right now. I don't know if it's going to stop enough today for me to get it done for you guys, but next clip will be me shooting my tuned arrows and my full setup for definitely this hunting season, and probably many to come, because there really isn't much more I'm looking forward for in a setup, a bow and arrow setup all together. Pretty much just work on myself after I get this thing set up, because if you ain't shooting good, it's not the bow at this point. But freaking gorgeous, those tree bark limbs and this freaking riser. Oh. I got the final product here. Got some different puffballs on there. Match the red string, I like red. And yeah, freaking gorgeous. Shoots fantastic. Went to a 3D shoot last night with it. Shot a 243 out of a 280 on one of the toughest courses I've ever shot. So I was very happy with that. And the one change from the video that I said I was doing something different is I'm sticking with the 400 spine arrows, the 250 up front. They fly better out of the bow. I didn't expect that with it being a lighter pound, but they just fly good. They're 500 grains on the dot, so I'm not too worried about it. They shoot about the same speed as the other ones I had, so I'd rather shoot a little heavier arrow and get the same speed. But about to shoot some cold shots here at about 24 yards right here.
Thank God it was little. I
Go ahead,
took the broom and shoved it out the door.
You put them new silencers on?
Yeah.
Go back to her.
She'll come down now, hopefully.
Right, well then I'm gonna go so I can get home.
Pretty quiet.
Yeah. Bow shoots phenomenal. First shot is about 3 inches high and the rest right in the 10 ring. 24 yards, 4 cold shots.